Hello, everyone. So I thought today we could do, take a little break off of the whole line thing, how that be. And so I decided let's do something about Anthony Harris's value because he is a free agent. He's an unrestricted free agent this offseason, and he played rather well. He had 6 pass deflections. He caught 3 interceptions. He didn't force a fumble, didn't have a sack. He did manage one quarterback hit, though. He had 46 combined tackles, 34 of those were solo, and 12 were assisted. And for those who like PFF, 89.0 grade, good for the number 3 safety. And by how they kind of hierarchy, how they put this, he ranked as good. So there's that. And Anthony Harris, he went undrafted in 2015 and he emerged pretty early as like a good special teamer slash reserve safety option backup guy. And he came on pretty early that way. But obviously when Sendejo was hurt, we all kind of thought, well, Iloka comes in. It was Anthony Harris that came in, and Harris played well and kind of had a breakout year when, he got to start a significant amount of games. And it's really good. And then we've always been looking for this other safety next to Harrison Smith. Do we have it here in Anthony Harris? Maybe. I know a lot of people like Sendejo. I will put on the record I am not too fond of Sendejo. I'm not the biggest fan of Sendejo. And it's not even that it's him, it's how Zimmer deploys his safeties. And if you look, they don't necessarily have a free or a strong safety. What they have is what you would call boundary and field side safeties. And boundary is just basically like if you're on the left hash, boundary, that's the boundary side, the left side. And then the field side would be the right side. And they use Smith as a boundary safety who's always kind of towards the line of scrimmage. And the other safety, which typically was Dejo in years past, would be up top covering the deep third, essentially. And that's just not where Sendejo goes. And to me, Harris is a much better fit because you're talking about a more pure coverage guy. And he's, you have him covering the deep third, and all of a sudden things work a little better in the back end as far as that is concerned. And it's kind of interesting how that's all done, but putting Sendejo closer to the line is kind of where you would want him to be, and that's kind of what Harrison does. And it's kind of nice that we kind of found a guy, it seems, that can go and do the other spot at a very effective level, or so it seems anyway. But that doesn't really say what his value is because we only have 1 year of Anthony Harris. Really, he only played, I think it was 9 games. So I've compared him to Duron Harmon, and I also wrote down Sendejo's numbers from 2017 because that was kind of his better year. And Harris, 6 pass deflections. Duron Harmon had 4. Sendejo in 2017 had 7 interceptions. Harris had 3. Harmon had 4, and then Dejo had 2. No forced fumbles, no sacks. Both Harris and Harmon had a quarterback hit. Sendejo did not. Tackles. This is where Sendejo leads, by the way. Harris had 34 solo tackles, while Harmon had 32. 52 solo tackles for Sendejo. Assisted, you had 12 for Harris, 6 for Harmon, 25 for Sendejo. So total 46 for Harris, 38 for Harmon, and 77 for Sendejo in 2017. And once again, for those who like PFF grades, I couldn't find Sendejo's from 2017, but for this year, we had Harris with the 89.0, which is good for number 3. And Harmon had a decent 68.8 grade. It's nothing spectacular. That's the only thing that's different, really, from those two. Otherwise, these numbers are ridiculously similar. You have, like I said, 6 pass deflections for Harris, 4 for Harmon, 3 to 4 interceptions, no forced fumble, no sack, both one quarterback hit, and their solo tackles, which is probably more important than assisted or combined, they're 2 tackles off. It's just the PFF grade that's a wide margin. And so where does this put this? Duron Harmon has a 4-year, $17 million contract with a $5 million signing bonus with $6.5 million guaranteed, which is an average salary of $4.25 million. And then Sendejo's contract is very similar to that with 4 years, $16 million, $6.9 million guaranteed, and that's an average of $4 million. So this would tell you the actual, I guess, statistical value of Anthony Harris is pretty much in a ballpark of anywhere from like $4 to $5 million. And that's not too bad, I don't think. I really don't think that's too bad for him. He's 27. He's still got some decent years on him, and you can kind of afford a 4-year deal in terms of his age. It's just a matter of, once again, we got to clean some things up when it comes to the cap. Got to get the capologist people in there, but this is how it is. It's what happens when you draft well and you start paying them. But yeah, I think that's probably the range that we'll see. I think we'll see something very similar to Harmon's contract. Pretty much anything from that 4-year, $17 to $20 million range, and probably anywhere from $5 to $7 million guaranteed as well. That wouldn't surprise me, because that's kind of, he falls right in line with these guys in terms of stats. And I would like to know what you guys think down in the comments below. And until next time, I bid y'all adieu.